Marcus Aurelius, widely regarded as one of the greatest emperors in the history of the Roman Empire, was not only a military leader and ruler, but also a deeply introspective philosopher. While his reign was marked by numerous challenges, including wars, political turmoil, and personal loss, his enduring legacy is deeply tied to the wisdom and tranquility he found in the teachings of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius is perhaps best known for his personal reflections in the work Meditations, a series of notes he wrote to himself, where he explored the principles of Stoic philosophy and how they could be applied to his life. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius didn't just discuss abstract concepts or philosophical ideas. He shared practical advice for living a life of virtue, self-control, and inner peace. His reflections reveal how he consistently sought to align his actions with his values and how he strove to maintain a sense of calm and purpose, even in the most turbulent of times. Through his writings, he emphasized the importance of understanding what is within our control and accepting what is not. He believed that a fulfilling life comes not from external achievements or material possessions, but from the cultivation of one's character, the discipline of the mind, and the development of virtue. Marcus Aurelius's Stoic principles can have a profound impact on our daily lives if we take them to heart. In a world that often feels chaotic and out of control, his philosophy offers a practical roadmap for creating more meaning and calm in our lives. By practicing Stoicism, we can learn to face life's challenges with grace, make better decisions based on reason rather than emotion, and ultimately cultivate a deeper sense of fulfillment and peace. Incorporating the wisdom of Stoicism into our daily routines can help us achieve better emotional balance, develop a stronger sense of self-awareness, and lead a more intentional life. By following the example set by Marcus Aurelius, we can transform the way we approach each day, recognizing that our responses to life's ups and downs are more important than the circumstances themselves. Through this practice, we can find better ways to handle stress, maintain a positive outlook, and live with purpose, all of which can make each day better and more meaningful. 1. Focus on what you can control. One of the most fundamental and transformative principles in Stoic philosophy, as emphasized by Marcus Aurelius, is the importance of focusing on what is within your control and learning to let go of concern for things beyond your influence. In life, we often encounter circumstances, events, and outcomes that are completely outside of our power to change, whether it's the actions of others, the state of the world, or even the natural course of life itself. Marcus Aurelius recognized that it is futile and mentally exhausting to dwell on such uncontrollable elements. Instead, he encouraged us to shift our attention away from the external forces and focus on the one thing we can always control: our own thoughts, actions, and responses. In his reflections, Marcus Aurelius wrote frequently about the importance of accepting the things we cannot change and learning to embrace them with a sense of serenity. Rather than engaging in a constant battle against circumstances or trying to bend the world to our will, he believed that true peace and resilience come from accepting the inevitable with grace and focusing our energy on how we respond to the situation. The Stoic mindset, therefore, advocates for the conscious choice to invest energy only in areas where we have direct control, such as our actions, attitudes, and judgments. This principle has a profound impact on our emotional well-being. When we continuously try to control things outside our sphere of influence, such as the behavior of others, global events, or unexpected setbacks, we inevitably set ourselves up for frustration, disappointment, and anxiety. By contrast, when we shift our attention to controlling our own reactions and behaviors, we empower ourselves to take charge of our emotional state. We stop allowing external factors to dictate our happiness, and instead, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and confidence in our ability to handle life's challenges. A concrete example of this philosophy in action is found in everyday situations where we often feel helpless, such as dealing with traffic, navigating a difficult relationship, or facing an unexpected setback at work. Instead of becoming frustrated or angry about things we cannot change, we can choose to focus on how we respond to those challenges. We can decide to approach the situation with patience, kindness, and understanding, or we can choose to let go of our desire for control and practice acceptance. By doing so, we reduce the mental strain and emotional turmoil that often comes with reacting to life's unpredictability. The benefits of focusing on what is within our control extend far beyond simply reducing stress. By applying this principle consistently, we build resilience and mental clarity. When we stop wasting energy on things we cannot influence, we can dedicate our time and efforts to areas that truly matter, such as improving our own personal growth, fostering meaningful relationships, and making thoughtful decisions that align with our values. In doing so, we not only feel more at peace with ourselves, but we also become better equipped to handle future challenges with a calm and composed mindset. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius' lesson is simple, yet powerful. By acknowledging that many aspects of life are beyond our control, we liberate ourselves from the weight of unnecessary worry. We gain the ability to rise above external events and maintain a steady, peaceful state of mind, regardless of the turbulence that may be happening around us. This practice of focusing on what we can control, rather than being overwhelmed by what we cannot, lays the foundation for a more peaceful, fulfilling, and purposeful life. 2. Accept what cannot be changed. One of the most fundamental teachings of Stoic philosophy, as articulated by Marcus Aurelius, is the recognition that life is inherently filled with constant change, and death is an unavoidable part of the natural order. Marcus frequently reflected on the transient nature of existence, contemplating how everything in life, be it our circumstances, our relationships, or even our very selves, is in a constant state of flux. He believed that life itself is a series of transitions, and death is simply a part of this cyclical process. The inevitability of death and the impermanence of all things were not sources of fear or anxiety for him. Instead, they were sources of wisdom and clarity. For many people, the concept of death is something to be feared, avoided, or denied. Society often teaches us to view death as the ultimate tragedy, a final end that we must resist at all costs. However, Marcus Aurelius took a radically different approach. He encouraged us to reflect on the transient nature of all things, not as a source of despair, but as a vital lesson in how we should live. By acknowledging that everything is temporary, our joys, our challenges, and even our own lives, we are better equipped to live fully in the present moment, appreciating what we have without clinging to it out of fear. Rather than resisting the changes that life inevitably brings, or fearing the end of life itself, Marcus Aurelius advised us to accept change and death with grace and understanding. He believed that this acceptance is not about giving up, resigning ourselves to fate, or abandoning hope. Rather, it is about coming to terms with the truth that change and death are natural processes that cannot be avoided or altered. This understanding, he argued, is essential for leading a life of peace and fulfillment. By embracing the reality of change and death, we free ourselves from unnecessary fear and anxiety. This acceptance doesn't mean that we stop striving or that we give up on our goals. On the contrary, Marcus Aurelius believed that we should continue to act with purpose, integrity, and passion while we are alive, fully aware of the brevity of life. The key is to approach each day as a precious gift, understanding that the present moment is all we can truly control. By accepting the transient nature of life, we become more fully engaged in the present and less likely to be consumed by the fear of what may be lost in the future. When we accept the inevitability of death and change, we no longer spend our days clinging to things, people, or situations out of fear of losing them. We stop allowing the fear of potential loss to cloud our judgment or rob us of the ability to enjoy the present moment. This liberation allows us to live more authentically, appreciate life's fleeting beauty, and take meaningful action in the here and now. Furthermore, Marcus Aurelius believed that our ability to accept change and death with equanimity enhances our resilience and strengthens our character. Life's challenges, whether they come in the form of personal loss, failure, or disappointment, can be seen as opportunities for growth if we approach them with the understanding that all things are impermanent. Instead of viewing hardship as an unfair setback, we can see it as a natural part of life's cycle, a lesson in resilience, and an opportunity to grow stronger in the face of adversity. In practical terms, embracing the reality of change and death can help us live more meaningfully and intentionally. It allows us to focus on what truly matters, cultivating meaningful relationships, developing our character, and contributing to the greater good, rather than getting lost in the pursuit of fleeting pleasures or material success. By embracing the inevitability of change, we stop wasting time lamenting what we have lost or fearing what we might lose, and instead, we focus on making the most of the time we have. In summary, Marcus Aurelius's Stoic teachings encourage us to embrace change and death, not with fear or resistance, but with acceptance and understanding. Life is a journey of constant transitions, and death is a natural part of that journey. By acknowledging this truth, we are freed from the burden of regret, fear of loss, and unnecessary anxiety, allowing us to live more fully, intentionally, and with a deep sense of gratitude for the present moment. Through this acceptance, we cultivate a life that is more peaceful, meaningful, and in harmony with the natural flow of existence. 3. Cultivate rationality and mindfulness in every moment. One of the core principles of Stoic philosophy, as taught by Marcus Aurelius, is the profound importance of maintaining rationality and mindfulness in every aspect of life. For Marcus, the ability to remain clear-headed, grounded, and composed in the face of external challenges is essential for making wise decisions and living a virtuous life. His philosophy encourages us to approach every situation, no matter how difficult or stressful, with a calm and rational mindset, free from the distortions of uncontrolled emotions or impulsive reactions. In our daily lives, it's easy to get swept up in the emotional currents of stressful situations. When faced with challenges, whether personal, professional, or social, emotions such as anger, frustration, anxiety, or fear often take center stage, clouding our judgment and impeding our ability to think clearly. Marcus Aurelius understood this human tendency and consistently emphasized the need to resist these emotional impulses. Instead, he urged us to recognize that, while we cannot always control the external events that happen to us, we always have control over how we choose to respond to them. It is in our response, rather than the event itself, that our true power lies. In his writings, Marcus frequently reminds himself to remain focused on his rational mind, urging himself not to be swept away by the chaos of the world. He understood that our emotions are not inherently bad, but when they overwhelm our reasoning, they can lead to poor decisions and unnecessary suffering. For instance, if we react to a difficult situation with immediate anger or frustration, we may act impulsively and later regret our words or actions. On the other hand, when we remain mindful and take a moment to pause and reflect before reacting, we can make decisions based on wisdom rather than being at the mercy of fleeting emotions. A practical way to cultivate rationality and mindfulness in your life especially during times of stress or difficulty, is to ask yourself simple yet profound questions. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to ask, "Is this really important?" And "What can I learn from this?" These questions serve as a powerful tool to distance ourselves from our immediate emotional reactions and to take a step back, viewing the situation from a more detached and rational perspective. By asking these questions, you prompt yourself to evaluate the situation with clarity, recognizing whether the issue at hand is truly worth your emotional energy and whether there is an opportunity for growth or learning, even in challenging circumstances. The act of questioning is a form of mindfulness, a practice that helps you to be present in the moment and to examine the situation without judgment or preconceived notions. Instead of allowing yourself to be overwhelmed by emotion, these questions encourage you to reflect on the situation objectively. You begin to see that not every stressful situation is a catastrophe, and that many challenges contain valuable lessons that can help you grow and become more resilient. For example, if someone insults you or behaves in a way you find upsetting, instead of reacting in anger or frustration, you can ask yourself, "Is this really important? Does this matter in the long run? Or what can I learn from this interaction?" Often, the answers will lead you to realize that the event does not warrant a strong emotional reaction, and that you can choose to respond with calmness, rather than being swept away by anger. By cultivating rationality and mindfulness in every situation, you gradually build a greater sense of emotional control and self-mastery. Over time, this practice allows you to face difficult or stressful moments with a sense of equanimity. When you are not ruled by your emotions, you can think more clearly, make decisions more wisely, and respond with compassion and understanding, even in challenging circumstances. This, in turn, helps you navigate life's inevitable difficulties with greater resilience, calmness, and clarity. Another key benefit of maintaining rationality and mindfulness is the ability to prevent overreaction to situations that may seem urgent or threatening at first, but upon reflection, are not as significant as they initially appear. We often create unnecessary anxiety and stress by blowing situations out of proportion, either by catastrophizing or by imagining worst-case scenarios. By practicing mindfulness and taking a step back before reacting, you can gain a more accurate perspective, which helps to reduce unnecessary stress and anxiety. 4. Build positive daily habits. Marcus Aurelius didn't just theorize about Stoicism. He practiced it daily. In Meditations, he writes about reviewing his actions and thoughts both in the morning and at night, striving to improve himself bit by bit. He recognized that in order to live a Stoic life, each day was an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. By adopting this habit, you can create a positive cycle of action, learning, and growth. Start each day with a positive mindset, set clear goals, and reflect at the end of the day on what you did well and what you could improve. This self-awareness and reflection will help you progress toward becoming the best version of yourself. 5. Practice gratitude and live with purpose. A key lesson from Marcus Aurelius is the importance of gratitude. He urged us to appreciate everything we have, including the challenges we face. Instead of focusing on what is lacking, we should recognize and be grateful for the richness in our lives. Practicing gratitude not only enhances happiness, but also helps us reduce negative feelings like envy or dissatisfaction. Moreover, Marcus Aurelius emphasized that each of us has a role in the world, and we should live with a sense of duty and service. Living for something greater than ourselves whether through helping others or contributing to society, gives life meaning and direction. 6. Live simply and appreciate the present moment. In today's world, we are often caught up in the pursuit of wealth, success, and fame. However, Marcus Aurelius advocated for a life of simplicity and appreciation for the small things. He believed that true happiness does not come from material wealth or power, but from the tranquility of the mind and the way we engage with the world around us. By living simply, avoiding excessive desires, and appreciating each moment, you can experience greater peace and fulfillment. It is in these simple moments that you will find true contentment, not in the chase for more. Conclusion. The philosophy of Marcus Aurelius continues to offer valuable guidance for living a meaningful and peaceful life. Through Stoic practices, we can learn to face challenges with strength, improve ourselves daily, and build a life of purpose and tranquility. By applying the principles he shared, we can create better days not by changing our circumstances, but by changing how we respond to them. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness comes not from external conditions, but from the way we think and live each day.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.